This video is brought to you by Sun King Discs. Go to sunkingdiscs.com for a full selection of disc golf merchandise from all the major brands. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my review of the Discmania Evolution Origin. These are both in the Neoplastic. Big thank you to Sun King Discs for sponsoring this video. sunkingdiscs.com is the website, or just go straight to the description below to check it out. They've got all kinds of great plastic on there. Tell them I sent you. I appreciate their support. I appreciate all of you guys for watching as well. Hit that subscribe button if you like the videos to stay tuned for future uploads. I'll also be doing a giveaway at the end of the video for this beautiful dyed Origin right here that I think came out fantastic. So stay tuned to the end of the video if you want to learn how to enter to win that one. And let's get into the review of the Origin. Evolution Origin by Discmania. So if you guys are not aware, these are molded and manufactured by Latitude 64 in Sweden as part of the Evolution line from Discmania. So these are really great discs. They have a very similar feel to all that beautiful Latitude made trilogy type plastic that you guys might like. I know I do. I love the way all of this plastic feels. I mean, the stuff is just phenomenal. It dyes great, as you can see. It's really fun to dye. It's really nice bright colors. I5, -1 and 1. I would say those are pretty spot on for my testing. Maybe -2. I could see being -2. I wouldn't argue with that, but it's not crazy flippy. Definitely understable. Definitely low fade. So this beautiful dyed one here, this is actually a dyed experiment that I did where I did more of like kind of how people do lotion dyes, but I used my shampoo technique. Hope to kind of dial in this technique a little more and do a full tutorial on how to make that happen for yourself. In my Essence review, I told you guys that I would be giving away both of these Origins to make up for the fact that I held on to both of the Essence because they're in my bag now. So I'll give away that one at the end of this video, and then I'm probably going to dye this one and give it away maybe on Instagram or something, so keep an eye out for that. I love the stamp, no problems there. I love the just plain black stamp. I wish more companies would do this. I prefer this so much more than like the really flashy, overly kind of iridescent, you know, wacky colors and American flags and too much kind of shiny stuff. It's a personal preference thing, but I love how nice and clean this just plain matte black stamp looks on that nice bright pink background. Gorgeous disc. Looking at this thing, it's got like a very, very slight dome to it, but it's pretty flat. It just kind of feels like it has a dome because the shoulder has a little bit of a rounded kind of profile here where it rolls up over onto the top of the flight plate there, so it kind of feels like it has a touch of dome to it, but it really doesn't. I mean, it's definitely not like a big pop top or anything like that. It won't pop at all. Really comfortable feel though. Taking a look at the profile here, you can see it's got a really smooth contour to it. No sharp edges at all. It's a very small rim as well. Very manageable feel. I like the feel of this thing quite a bit. It definitely feels very comfortable and smooth, very soft. No sharp edges of any kind anywhere on this disc. Really, really nice feel. It's marked just Discmania on the bottom, and you'll also find the weight 174. I think these are both like 174, 175 or so. Didn't really notice any difference between this one and the formerly white one here that I dyed. They basically flew almost identical out there during testing. Let's put it up next to a couple other options, as I always like to do. First of all, my first ever understable midrange. This is a disc I've had for a long time. I aced with this disc. My second ace ever was in 2010. Rooster Rock, hole 7 East. And this is an old ESP Meteor. Now this one, as I throw it up here, you can see has more of a dome to it for sure. Not overly common for Meteors, but this one has always just been a little bit different than some of the other ones with that dome there. This one's also lighter weight. As I recall, I believe it's around 165. This was my favorite disc for years, and it's one that I just retired after a while because it was my ace disc and it got kind of a little bit tricky to control because it's understable and it's lighter weight. So that's not, you know, ideal at sometimes to have that combination. I usually feel like one or the other is better, but bear in mind, of course, this one has some wear on it because I threw it quite a bit, especially back in those days. But I think the Meteor is honestly about as close in terms of flight to the Origin as a disc that I have a lot of experience with. I'll show you one more in a second here, but there it is next to the old school ESP Meteor. I love this older ESP plastic. I think this stuff has a better feel than the newer stuff they're putting out. This was the good old days right here. That beautiful old ESP plastic. I like that stuff quite a bit. And another disc closest to the Origin in my bag would be the Latitude 64 Fuse. This is a retro burst one that I have as a backup here. I got a couple of these as misprints recently. I really like them. And you can see that these are relatively similar in design and flight as well. I would say the Fuse maybe a little bit less flippy. They're both very understable, and the Fuse will hold a turn extremely easily. Both of these will. But I think this thing has a little bit more natural flip to it based on my testing. But, you know, it's always going to fluctuate based on which Fuse you have and all that kind of stuff. But I like all three of these discs, and you really can't go wrong if you're looking for an understable mid-range with a Meteor, a Fuse, or this Origin. Right away, I really started liking this thing immediately during testing, and I think a lot of players are going to really enjoy this disc for those understable mid-range shots. So, let's talk about the flight of this thing. Beautiful, understable, but still controllable. Phenomenal hyzer flip disc. Phenomenal turnover mid-range. These would also be an absolutely great choice for a beginner disc. If you're a new player and you're looking for something you can throw really straight and you can start to learn how to throw left to right, I think the Origin would be an amazing option for that. That's kind of how I started throwing the Meteor all those years ago, is that it was a disc that was recommended at the time for turnover shots, and I was trying to learn how to throw discs that will fly from left to right, because I've never been good with a forehand at all. So I've always had to work a backhand turnover. Meteor is phenomenal for that, as is the Fuse, which is the disc I use in my bag now. The Origin could go right into my bag tomorrow, and I could go play around with it. I'd know exactly how to use it and what shots to use it on, but I just don't need to have it since I already have the Fuse in the bag. It's more than enough coverage for that understable mid-range slot, and I have a couple of them in there. Other than that, the Origin would almost certainly go in my bag if I didn't have a disc in there already that would cover it, because I really enjoyed the testing of this disc. It flies really nice. Great glide, very straight if you don't overpower it and just get it to flip up and fly laser straight, low fade as well, and again holds those left to right shots really, really nice. So if you're looking to learn a backhand turnover, if you're looking to work on kind of hyzer flips, more finesse lines, if you want a good woods disc that can work a lot of different shot shapes and be really versatile with flip up lines and stuff through the woods, I think this would be a great disc. And again, if you're looking for a really solid beginner disc for either yourself or somebody you want to introduce to the game, I think an Origin would be a great place to start. It's not so flippy that you're going to have to learn how to control it or have like issues with that, but it's definitely understable enough that it's going to be really easy to throw straight even if you don't have much power at all. And then for me, I just have to start putting it on some more hyzer to get it to fly straight, or throw it flat and have it move to the right naturally. Put it on that anhyzer and just watch it cruise out to the right and not even really think about coming back, depending on the nose angle and all those little nuances. But that's my review on the Origin. Another phenomenal disc added to the Discmania Evolution lineup, which is becoming stronger and stronger all the time. I mean, the Link is an amazing disc. The Essence is incredible. I have not yet tested the Enigma. I hope to try those in sometime in 2021. But any of the discs I've really tried from this lineup, I've been really impressed with the stuff that Latitude is designing and creating for the Discmania Evolution line. Phenomenal stuff and great plastics that I think you guys will definitely enjoy if you check it out. That is my review on the Origin. Now, if you want to win this gorgeous dyed Origin, I'm a little sad to see it go. It's one of the better dyes I've done. I think it's a really pretty disc. And all you got to do is head down in the description below, look for a Google form, fill that out, and you'll be entered to win. Make sure you like this video. Please be subscribed to the channel as well, and you'll be entered to win. And I'll pick a winner in probably a month or so, depending. You know, sometimes I let it ride for longer. If the video continues to get views during the early portion, maybe I'll let it ride a little bit longer to give you guys more of an opportunity to get in on the action. That is it. Thanks again to Sun King Discs for sponsoring this video and sending me these two beautiful discs to test and review. Thanks to all of you guys for watching. Big shout out to the Patreon support team, Disc Golf Nerd Patreon support team as well, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Cheers. Thank you so much for watching, and big thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. If you would like to see your name listed in the credits of all of my videos, go to patreon.com/discgolfnerd.